We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Set for football now at AT&T Stadium. Brandon Aubrey has the honors, and we are underway here in Arlington. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Completes it to Austin. 7 yards there and a first down. A give up the middle to Johnson. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Well, we saw plenty of throws like this in Columbus last year, and he's got his guys a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle, Johnson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Howard. He finds Austin complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Howard working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Johnson running left. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2, because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
3rd and 9 here. Operating from the gun. Howard. That is caught, and they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on third down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a first and goal.
Johnson. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. A first carry now. This is Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Pickens going in motion left. They'll fake the jet sweep and instead give up the middle to Williams. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
They'll send Austin in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's DK Metcalf running the slant. He's got it. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he will have a Steelers 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
toss wide side. This is Johnson. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Austin. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Howard. Austin is there and brings in another one. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Here's Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Going right back to Ferguson. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. Here's Austin. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Looking to throw. Howard. And this is going to be dropped. Oh, my gracious. There was no one in his area code, but he could not hang on to it.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration could wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
To throw is Howard from the gun on 3rd down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
35 yards that time on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
He finds Pickens over the middle. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. On the counter, here's Williams. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Prescott from the gun on third.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Operating from the gun, Howard.
Across the formation, he hits Austin. Now he's loose down the left sideline.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Calvin Austin.
75 yards.
And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Prescott.
Left side to Lamb.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Here's Prescott. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be second in a couple. Up the middle, it's Williams. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And his kick is right there. It's good.
Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it. And they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the... This offense so far on 3rd down, 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now Prescott.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And that one came close to hitting the big scoreboard up there as the fair catch is made inside the 20-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
He'll get the hook up there to Woods.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Howard, he'll buy some time right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Howard now, operating from the gun. Right side complete. That's Woods. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there, and so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3.
Off play action. Howard. This is caught. It's Woods. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Running from the gun, Johnson.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 59 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is up to 15 now. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Prescott. He finds his man. Complete. It's Ferguson. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Prescott to throw it.
He's got his target. That's complete.
The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. To throw is Prescott. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
Final play of the half, Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown.
Jalen Tolbert.
As time expires in the first half.
And the Cowboys get a late touchdown here on the final play of the first half. Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey.
And that'll cut the lead to 21-17.
It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the 3rd quarter.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And Charles, some things to like about that first half, ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Prescott now.
Screen play set up for Williams.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams.
He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Prescott.
Completes this one to Pickens.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A short one there, taken in by Ferguson.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
From the 29, here's 2nd down and 2.
They go back to the ground with Williams.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Yeah, the Cowboys are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Javonte Williams
taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Cowboys have come back to make it a 2-point game.
Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the 3rd as they have their first possession of this 2nd half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
Here's Johnson again on 2nd down.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get it's a 1st down.
One thing I do know that I like a guy who's carrying the ball that will take what is blocked. Not try and create a big play and maybe take a loss, not try and go where the blocking isn't. But if it's just all that's there and you just put your head and your shoulders down and get that, you get the respect of the big guys up front.
Taken down at the 42.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7.
Operating from the gun, Howard.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Again, it's Williams. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 44-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll throw again. Prescott. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Off the play fake, Prescott. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
Here's Prescott.
Looking for Pickens. He's got him on the out route. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. Throwing, Prescott. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
And this offense on third down today, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Prescott yet again.
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
No receivers open downfield, so instead of forcing the ball to the sideline, he's going to throw this one down to Fort Worth. He'd rather have the incompletion than the turnover.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal.
Williams.
Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Got to kick it, right? I mean, even the short yardage, you boot this thing, don't you?
Yeah, but I know how aggressive you are. I know what you want. You want to go for it, don't you? You're feeling it, aren't you?
Yeah, but treat it like a football game, not like Madden.
I like that. Yeah. Fight the temptation, kick the field goal, because if you go for it and don't get it, you put a lot on your defense in a short amount of time.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
97 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson.
He's got it to the 43 here.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Back to throw. Howard.
Complete to Austin here over the middle.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He'll find Metcalf.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They'll give up the middle to Johnson.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. 2nd and 7 from the 20.
Looking to throw. Howard.
Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Steelers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it. We've got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
And this one is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Prescott.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make them. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it second down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From the 21, here's a 2nd and 5. Oh, the option to give to Williams here. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 76 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Here's Prescott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Cowboys have regained the lead.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and that gives him a 3-point lead. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Something we're seeing more of with the rise of the run-pass option. A legal man downfield, and that's going to back him up. Howard from the gun, he'll throw. A short one there to Freiermuth. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here now 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Back to throw. Howard. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Osa Odighizuwa with the effort there to earn the sack.
Well, they got a takeaway on the last drive with an interception. How about this sack as a terrific follow-up? And that keeps pressure on this offense, and it could force them into more rush decisions or another turnover.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his...
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Micah Parsons picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Here's Howard, operating from the gun. That's to Freiermuth. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
He's back to throw. Got his man, it's Warren. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Back to throw. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. They'll look to throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Calvin Austin, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here's 1st and 10. Now Dak. Over the middle, complete. That's Ferguson. So the road a little tougher here. Now 1st and 20. Here's Prescott. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. So Dak and the Cowboys down 35-31, 57 seconds to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Here's Dak. On the move to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker.
Nice solid game there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Oh, Prescott stripped. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football, so this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. He's going to let it fly. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And they will take a knee here. What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Big D.